everybody, Hayley here. I hope you're all okay and welcome back to Fun Fall Friday. I'm just going to give a quick apology. Unfortunately, I've not been too well for the past few weeks. So last week there wasn't a video on Friday for Fun Fall Friday, unfortunately. But I'm back this week with a fabulous card and this is what we're going to be making today. This I'm going to call a Split Gatefold card, and it's actually from a set that I have called the Template Library. Now this is from Crafter's Companion, and it's a huge template library and it's full of different types of card styles, and this is where I have taken this from. However, I have used and slightly adjusted these measurements so you can create this at home. I'm going to walk through all of the steps. We're going to cut, score, fold and everything for you to be able to create this yourself at home. If you do have the template library already at home, this comes from the orange and it's a Split Gatefold card and it's number 4, and then obviously we've got the template to go with it. So this is the card that we're going to create today. I'm just going to bring in some of the products that I've used today. These are older products. Some of them are available, some of them aren't. But what I always say is the Fun Fall Friday series is all about creating a beautiful fun fall card, but using up whatever stash you have at home, because I know as a crafter, and I'm pretty sure that all of you will agree, we hoard paper pads, we hoard stamps and dies and all the things. And I'm sure that you can dig into your stash at home and pull out some, if you wanted to make something similar, I'm sure you have some floral stamp and dies. I'm sure you have some pretty paper. So these are what I'm going to use. I'm going to use the flowers and leaves from Build Them Up, and this is from Made to Surprise. I'm also going to use the Showstopper 2 paper pack. I'm going to use all the Sentiment stamp and die set. So yeah, dig into your stash, see what you have, pull something out, and give those products a new lease of life with a beautiful fun fall card. So let's get started then. So to start this project, we're going to need a piece of 10 inches by 7 inches, and I've used the yellow card for this one. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and I'm going to pop this in the scoreboard, and we'll go through the scoring first of all. Along the 10-inch side, we are going to score 2.5 inches. Now, the next thing that I like to do, and this just makes it easier for me, because what we're going to cut in between and not all the way through, and we're also going to score in between. And to make this easier, I draw a line horizontally at 1 inches all the way along, and I do the same at the bottom at 6 inches, and I draw my line all the way along, and that just gives me a guide, a reference as to where I want to be scoring. The next score line then, we want to score at 4 inches. We want to start at 1 inches down to 6 inches. So I'm just going to hover over the 4 inch until we get to 1 inch, which is the start of this line here, and score all the way down to 6 inches, which is the bottom of this line here. Then we're going to score at 5 inches, but only at the top and the bottom of this line. So I'm going to score at 5 inches down to 1 inches, and then I'm just going to pull my tool down and score up then from 5 inches, so I know I've got it in the right track, and just up to that score line, the 6 inch mark on there. The next one we're going to do is at 8 inches, and we're just going to hover over, and we're going to score again in between those two lines, so from 1 inches and down to 6, and the same again at 9 inches. So we're just going to hover, and then we're going to score from 1 inches down to 6. So for this, I hope you can pick that up on the camera. This is what we should have. Okay, so once you've got all that scored, now we're just going to make some cut lines, and you could do this with either your trimmer and score and cut in between the lines, or you could do it with a craft knife and a ruler. I might just bring in my trimmer for this. I think that might be easier. I'm going to line up this piece now at 6 inches. And I'm going to bring in my trimming blade, and from 1 inches at the top there. So I'm 1 inches in and 1 inch down. I'm going to cut this now, sorry, down to 6 inches, like so. And then I'm just going to flip this around and I'm going to repeat the same thing. So I'm going to go from, then because it's the opposite way around now, I'm actually going to go from 9 inches up to 4 inches. So this is what we should have. We should have these 2 cut lines. And we can erase these pencil marks now. So I'm just going to erase out these. So we're going to fold this now. With this 2.5 inch panel on the right, we're going to create a valley fold, then a mountain fold. These 2 5-inch pieces are also going to be mountain folds. Then this one is going to be a valley and a mountain. So just manipulate that into place first, and then you can hold it down and burnish that well, making sure it all lines up like so. So this is what we're left with, and that is the card base created. Once I've got all that folded and burnished now, this is what we should have. This is what we should be looking like. It's a great shape already. So I'm going to create some mats and layers now. So what I have done is I've taken a piece of white card, and this measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Gone around with my ruler and I've just marked out at 7/8 of an inch along the top, 7/8 of an inch along the right hand side, along the bottom, and at the bottom there. Again, I've done the same on the left hand side. I've just come up 7/8 of an inch, and from this side too, and I've just drawn a line to match up all those areas that we marked there. So now what I want to do is remove this centre rectangle here, and that's going to give me the perfect mat and layer to sit on this section here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and remove this rectangle, and you are going to see this, so you just want it to be as neat as possible. All I'm going to do is just remove these pencil lines again here, and that now will match up perfectly for a mat and layer on this section here. So I'll work on the mats and layers first, and then we'll get those all stuck down. So now I want to work on this section here and this panel here. So the next thing that we're going to need, again, I'm going to stick to the white card, and I'm just going to bring in what I have here. So for that center rectangle, I have a piece that measures 3 3/4 inches by 4 3/4 inches. I also have a pattern layer that's come from that beautiful paper pad, and this is a really beautiful paper pad, and this one measures 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and that's going to sit on the top of that one there. Then for that long rectangle panel, I have a piece that measures 6 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, and another piece from that same paper pad, and this measures 6.5 inches by 2.25 inches, and those are going to stick together. So if I bring the card in, we're going to pop the piece we created on there. This one is going to sit in the middle, and this one is going to sit on this panel here, like so. So I'm going to go now and get those all stuck down. I have everything stuck down now, and that is looking beautiful. The next thing that we're going to work on is the decoration. So for this one, I have taken those beautiful floral Stampin' Dies, and I have coloured and cut lots of these out. I've also hooray. So with these florals now, I want to create a little bit of shape. I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the camera, but I've just added a slight curve into these just to bring them to life a little bit, and I've popped a little pearl in the centre there. So to do this, what I like to do, I just take and it's just a small paintbrush. I'm going to take one of the florals. First of all, I'm going to curl them around the paintbrush on my thumb, just like so, just to give them a little bit of shape and to break down the fibres of the cardstock. Now all the petals are kind of facing downwards at the moment, so all I want to do now is bring this the other way and kind of reshape these petals to face, but we've still got the curve on the ends. And I'm going to take two of the same florals. I've stamped lots and coloured lots here, so I'm going to take two of the same and I'm going to repeat the process for every single petal. I'm just doing exactly the same thing, and then I'm going to pop. I'm going to offset these now, stick those together and pop my pearl in the centre. And that's what I'm going to do for all of these florals. Okay, so once we've got all those petals shaped, I'm going to glue these together, and to glue them together I'm going to use some 3D glue gel. So I have my colour 3D glue, the glue gel onto the back of that one there, and stick those two together, and I'm going to repeat the same for each of these petals. And then I'm just going to bring in my pearls that I have here, and I'm just going to pop one of these pearls into the centers of each of these florals. And I've got all my foliage here too, which I've stamped and coloured and die cut out already. So what I'm thinking is, if I just pop these to one side for the moment so I can show you, I'm thinking I might have one of the yellow ones and maybe one of the pink ones here on this corner, and I'm going to fill that with all the foliage here. Then I might pop one of the orange colour ones down at the bottom here, and again add my foliage in here like so, and maybe the yellow and the pink one coming up from that corner there. And again, once your foliage is all tucked in, that's going to look fantastic. And I'm also going to pop my hooray on some foam pads in the centre of the panel there. You could add something extra to this. You could put hooray, it's your birthday, or whatever you like, whatever you have at home. So that's how I'm going to get everything stuck down, and I'll come back once I've done that. Okay, now that is the card complete, and I have stuck this down, these florals, with the glue gel, so I can't move it too much because it's still drying. But yeah, that's an absolutely beautiful card. I'll pop this one to one side and I'll just bring the original back in. Now this one just has the celebrate sentiment, and that folds down to 5 by 7 in size. I would just be very aware that if you're going to overhang your flowers, you're going to need a little bit of extra room. So if you don't want to do that, and you do want it to fit exactly into a 5 by 7 envelope and not make your own or anything, then just make sure you don't overhang the edges on the sides here, and then it will fit perfectly. But that is today's card, and I thought it was just a really fun, vibrant one for coming up to summertime. So yeah, so that's the one we have today. Thank you for watching, everybody, and again, apologies for last week. Going forward now, Fun for Friday will continue as normal on Fridays. I will link all of the products that is still available in the description box below. Head on over and check those out on the website. Next week, it's actually Made to Surprise 6th birthday, and I am pretty certain that there's going to be lots of birthday fun surprises, which include deals on the website. I'm not going to say anything more. I would keep your eyes peeled on the website next week for some really fun things coming up to celebrate Made to Surprise birthday. If you create this card or any of the cards from my tutorials, I do have a Facebook group, and that group is called Hayley's Cards Creative Corner over on Facebook. I will link it in the description box below. And if you create a card, I would love for you to join the group and share it over there. I'd love to see the cards that you create and share that on social media too. So yeah. I also next Friday, which is the 15th of May, it will be the brand new launch of a new collection from Made to Surprise on the Friday, and I will be doing a little sneak peek of the launch on the Friday to share with you. I'm very excited about this one. It's a beautiful collection. It's a really fun one, so I hope you can join me next Friday. I will have 2 videos going out. I will have the new collection launch and the Fun Fall Friday next Friday for you. So yeah, thank you for spending your time with me today. I hope you like this card, and if you did, I would love it if you could drop me a like, comment, and definitely subscribe if you enjoyed this one, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified the next time that I upload a video. Thank you for watching, everybody, and goodbye for now.